All right. It looks like a little delay there, but that's all right. That'll come out in editing. I guess you're seeing that. I had the reason why I decided to make this video is someone pointed out that a particular company was getting a lot of traffic. And I'm like, wow, awesome. Let's tell me the strategy and tell me the site, right? So they sent me the site. I took a screenshot of it, and I decided to do this video for them and for you, of course. In any case, my name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmermarketing.com. And in today's video, what I'd like to share with you is how you can build topical authority in SEO. All right. Now, topical authority, first and foremost, I want to define, all right, what we're talking about here. All right. I'm not going to utilize, um, you know, I'm not going to utilize complex terminology because topical authority, that's like when people are explaining, like stock market and, things along those lines. To people on the outside that don't know, it always sounds really good, right? So I'll keep terms something that we can all understand, right? And I'll explain things the simplest way, because if you can boil things down simply, then you truly understand the concept, right? Topical authority equals depth of concept. Okay? How deep on a concept do you go? How much understanding, how much expertise do you have in a particular topic? All right? So when we're talking about topical authority, we're talking about the depth of concept. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over two separate instances. I primarily focus, at least now at this point in my career, we're primarily focused on real estate, okay, and law. These are the two things that I primarily focus on within our agency, aside from the white label and aside from training and education, right? So there's multiple parts within business. The agency side, we focus here, okay? With that being said, now that we have the definition out of the way, the definition primarily, again, is depth of concept. All right. This is building topical authority in SEO. All right. This is the depth on whatever we're going to be talking about. Now, when there's depth of concept, right, you can start getting a lot of different variations of keyword. By no stretch of the imagination should the majority of the traffic that's coming into the website, the reward for doing good SEO, right? When you're building your silos, when you're building your content, the objective is to power and to get the top level pages, right? To rank, correct? Right? And we want to get as much relevant traffic as possible. Why? Because generally, if you and I have a website, the main goal is to power a business, correct? To make dollars, right? Now that we're on the same page. So the screenshot that was sent to me, I trimmed off some of the pieces, but I'll share this with you. And I want you to tell me, please tell me, what is this website about? Because if I'm being rewarded, if traffic is the reward, and whatever keywords I'm ranking for and whatever traffic I'm receiving, that's what Google thinks my site's about, right? I could be wrong. Okay? But let's take a look together. Tell me here, what is this site about? Because these are the primary keywords. What is this site about? You guys let me know in the chat. You tell me what this site's about, because these are the top keywords of the website. And yes, we're getting a lot of traffic. But how much brand traffic do we have? And how much traffic is going to convert for the products and or the information that we have? right? If it's information or it's a product. And right here, what we're looking at is nearly 60%, right, of our traffic. What's the site about? You get, maybe we can guess together. I don't know. But in any case, now enough about that. Let's talk about Topical Authority. Ooh, a new. You guys can't see that it's yellow, but I can. All right, now let's talk about building Topical Authority or depth of concept inside of SEO. We'll talk about this together. All right, and we'll try to go through this. We're going to utilize two separate examples when we're building out depth of concept. All right, what we're going to focus on, what we're going to talk about is we'll utilize two separate examples. One will be for, say, like We Buy Houses, and the second one will be for a law firm. Okay, the very first thing that we'll go through is, let's say that we have our website. Okay, let's say it's law. All right, let's say that it's law.com. All right. Now, when we're building depth of concept, this can be done in multiple ways. And remember, traffic is the reward. All right. If I get a bunch of traffic that's all informational, the probability of that going to convert for us is highly, very, very low. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need any information, but the information needs to assist the sale. Okay. And I completely understand if you're in a service business, it's not like, hey, I'm trying to get the sale. I'm trying to service or help my customers. I get that. But the objective is always to drive the service or what we have. For instance, if we're a law firm, okay, and let's say that we're a truck accident. Hopefully you can see this. Can you see that okay? No? Here, let me see here. Let me see what I can do for you. Let me see if I can help you out just a nick here. Is that backwards? I'm going to come over here and take a quick look. How's that look? Does that look good? I don't know. It looks good to me. But I'm standing here, right? I want to make sure you guys can see. And gals and whoever else is here. You know what I'm saying? All right, where were we? Oh, by the way, that traffic, that's a marketing agency, by the way. That's a digital marketing agency. I know. Who would have thought, right? All right. In any case. Okay. All right. I think and I hope that you can see this okay. I'll try to stay out of the shot so you can see it. Let's figure out where it's at here. Here? So here. All right, stay in those lines. All right, my friends. All right. Let's talk about building depth of concept. All right, topical authority inside of SEO. I'll probably chop this video up later because it is a stream, but it is what it is. Now, when we're building out depth of concept, all right, the very first example that I want to give to you is going to be based on a law firm. All right, let's say it's a personal injury law firm, and the name of the website is law.com. All right, so when we're at law.com, all right, the very first thing that we want to make sure of is that we want to lay out our structure. All right, so we're going to have our truck. Let's say it's truck accident lawyer. Okay. Truck accident lawyer. All right. So law.com/truck accident lawyer. Now, why we really like this type of structure is because then we can build from here so much. We can build depth at multiple levels. All right. So you and I are both on the same page here, right? It's law.com and we're talking about a truck accident lawyer. All right. That's what we're talking about right now. Now let's start building topical authority, being a law firm, and we're a truck accident lawyer. All right. There's multiple ways to build authority, right? So let's say we're a truck accident lawyer, okay? Now, we can talk about states, all right? And bear with me, I know I utilize this same example But bear with me. I'm going to expand on the example that I utilized before. All right. Trust me, I got you. Don't worry about it. All right. So we're going to go to New York, truck accident lawyer. We're going to New York. Okay. And then we can start breaking down different boroughs. We could break down different areas in New York, boroughs in New York, cities in New York, towns in New York, whatever we want. Let's just say, for instance, let's say we're going to Long Island. Okay. Now, when we're starting to build topical authority, what do we want to start doing here? Well, we want to start rounding out different topics that are relevant to a law firm that offers, that is trying to service truck accidents. So it's a truck accident lawyer. So then what is relevant to a truck accident in a law firm? Okay. Now there's multiple ways that you can do research. Tons of different ways. Okay. But let's just use common sense, right? So let's think about this for a second. So if we're a truck accident lawyer, okay, and we have truck accident is our right? So we have law.com/truck accident lawyer / So let's just build depth here. All right. Let's forget about the state or the other locations that are here. All right. Let's build depth here. So what would we start talking about? Remember, this is truck accident lawyer. Okay. We want to build topical authority in this silo. The state pages and the city pages are included in the depth of concept here. Okay. They're all going to produce relevant traffic. Remember, traffic is the reward. What traffic Google gives us is what Google thinks the site's about. So if I'm getting tons of traffic for stuff that's not relevant, it's never going to convert. And two, Google doesn't, what's your site about? What are you doing, right? That's how Google almost feels. They'll start sending you all kinds of traffic, and then you won't rank for the primaries. And that's a problem, especially if you're offering SEO as a service. You know, like, yeah, you'll get a bunch of money for those blogs. Then you could ding the client, but how many times are they going to keep paying you for that? Honestly, how many times are you going to make deliverables that are blog articles that aren't producing traffic or sales or ROI for your clients or for your customers or for your own business, right? You read all this information and you're doing all this work, but it's not producing anything. It's because you're not on topic and you're not assisting the sale. You see what I'm saying here? All right. Sorry, I digress. All right. Truck accident lawyer, what do we talk about? Well, injuries. Truck-related injuries. Now we have a whole nother subset. We can go / well, what type? We could build from here too, if we wanted to. Okay. So we have injuries. Okay. We can also say truck accident lawyer. For short, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go truck accident lawyer / what about box truck? Okay. More depth within the truck accident lawyer category or top level page or folder, however you want to think about it, in the silo of truck accident lawyer. Now we're truck accident lawyer / box trucks / box trucks where? Well, how about in New York and Long Island? You get it? But we're building in the truck accident lawyer category. You with me so far? Okay. So now we've talked about injuries. So we're still law.com / truck accident lawyer / injuries. Now let's say we're truck accident lawyer, but what kind of injuries? Or what kind of lawyer? Well, what about commercial? Right? So truck accident lawyer / commercial. Now I'm still building depth of concept, but I'm hyper relevant to a truck accident lawyer. How many different commercial-based pages can you make? How many different box trucks? How many different kinds of trucks? Truck accident lawyer / jackknife. Truck accident lawyer / what? Commercial. Truck accident lawyer 18-wheeler. How many different? See how deep this can go? We didn't even start talking about states and cities and towns, and then also building the same type of content in those category sections or in those folders or in those top level pages. We didn't even get there yet. We're still just in truck accident lawyer. Okay? Now, here, we can keep going. I could go on for days like this. And I'm not talking about cloth or coupons. I'm not talking about anything that's not hyper relevant, that's not going to get my client a freaking ROI. All right. So, truck, accident, lawyer. Remember, we're doing this for short. All right. Oh, / All right. Let's start building this out. We can also talk about topics that are hyper relevant. How about insurance? Okay. What about insurance cases? Okay. And then we can talk about the insurance. So we're in the truck accident lawyer category. This is all internal link. It's all hyper relevant to one another. We're coming over here now. We're still in New York. But we could, if we wanted to, we could go here. This comes right down here. What if we want to do it in Florida? Does this make sense to you? Okay. I hope that it does. All right. All right. So let's start building this out together. All right. So let's say that we are law.com. Okay. And we're doing, let's stick with, I'm just going to abbreviate just so I can save space here. Truck accident lawyer. Okay. Now we can start talking about commercial. And then if we wanted to, we can go injuries. Now, again, I'm abbreviating. You can fill this out, but this is all hyper relevant. Okay. It's all hyper relevant to one another. In fact, the tool that I've been using lately in order to generate cluster ideas is a tool called Text Focus. There's tons of different tools though. I also use SEMrush. These are all tools that are accessible that you can utilize yourself if you'd like. It's completely up to you. All right. So law, truck accident lawyer, commercial. We're talking about injuries. So this is truck accident lawyer, commercial injuries. Okay. And this is commercial. This could be in the commercial section. Commercial. We could go 18-wheeler. Okay. Does this make sense to you? Do I need to explain this in a different way? Right? The top level page, the category, where we're building topical authority, we're building topical authority here for the truck accident lawyer. Okay. We can go as far this way or as far this way as we possibly need. The top level pages here, we can talk about these sub pages and go as far as we want if you really wanted to. But the farther you go, the less and less importance that we're showing. I'm not saying that we can't rank, but you're signifying to Google from your structure that this is less and less important. Okay? And if you don't believe me, think about it to yourself. When you have your web page, okay, .com, and you have a top level page, and then you do supporting, how does this rank? Pretty good usually, right? But let me ask you a question. So say we did let's say you had supporting, and then you were to build another support, and then another subsection. How well do you think this is going to rank? Just curious. Usually not as well as the top level pages. All right, wait, I want to make sure. I'm sorry, I should go back. Let me see here. Does this make sense to you? How would you structure website of a roofing company with multiple locations? Okay, here. Let's talk about roofing. It doesn't matter the topic. The only thing that's different, I'll do one live just for you, Raphael O. Because you asked nicely and you're a gentleman. That's right. Shasfer. I'm not sure how to therapies. My friend therapies. All right. Raphael, because you're here, we're going to talk to you. Hey, Chris, can you go over how would you structure the website of a roofing company with multiple locations? All right. Now, I don't generally do roofing, so let me just take a look at something here quick. I'm going to go to roofing, and I would assume that in Texas, there's a lot of roofing, right? So what I want to see is what services do we offer, right? What's typical for a roofing company? I'm not big with roofing. It's not my cup of tea, but it doesn't matter because the questions are always the same. How many services do you provide besides the main service? And how many locations do you do those services in? Once we know those two questions, structuring out the website, for me, is generally going to be relatively easy, right? But let's say we're working on a roofing company, all right? And this roofing company is in Texas. Services. Let me just take a look. This particular website that I'm looking at is to me not going to go too well. But either way, they're listing everything out. But it looks like they do metal roofs, they do asphalt, which that's interesting to me. Roof installation, metal roofing. Let's just say it's this. Let's say that you have 10 locations. You do metal roofs and you do flat roofs. Flat roofs and metal roofs. And then we'll throw one in for fun. Ply roof installation? I don't know what that is, but okay. All right. The structure of Raphael is just like this. Okay. So we have roof.com. All right, Raphael. This is for you, my friend. All right. So we have roof.com, and this is Raphael's roofing company. Now, this page right here needs to be all about Raphael. Raphael's roof company. Okay? This page is all about your roofing company, most notably your brand name. All right? Now, what we want to start talking about is, well, which services do we like to do the most? Right? What are your primary services? So we have roof.com, roof.com. All right, these are going to be multiple examples. This homepage right here is going to be all about brand. Here, we'll do one more because we have 4 separate services. All right. Oh, and by the way, to that question that you asked me before, each level that we're at, we can add supporting content. The objective, in my opinion, is not to have informational-based content. It's the objective is to have supporting content. Okay? It's to support and to fill out the concept depth. That's the purpose, right? I don't build informational content to just build content or to build traffic that's never going to convert. It just doesn't, it's not something that I do. Okay? So roofing. So we know that Raphael does metal roofing, right? We know that Raphael does ply roofing. We know that Raphael does, I don't know much about this. Let me take a look. Asphalt. S-P-H-A-L-T. Asphalt roofing. I'm not sure what that is, but okay. And then last but not least, he does, that's all I see on this guy's site. Sorry. I don't know much about it. And then let's say that we do, well, how about roof installation? How's that? So we do roof installation. I should write installation after all of these, but I didn't want to write it all out. So we do roof installation, asphalt roof installation, plywood roof installation. Now, I don't know any of these volumes. I didn't do any keyword research other than I went to some site in Texas and figured out what services they offer. Okay? So if this isn't hyper relevant about roofs, bear with me. But the main goal here is we're going to put the service first. So primary keyword first. Okay? So when we're talking about the primary keyword, we have roof.com. We know roof.com is going to be about Raphael's brand. Next, we want to start talking about, here's who we are, here's what we do, here's where we do it. You with me? So we know that we're going to go in Texas, but we need to know in the beginning of our campaign, are we going anywhere else? Are we only going to be in Texas? Are we only going to go to Florida and Texas? You know, this is massively important to know, okay? But for instance, if we're only going to go in Texas and there's only going to be a specific city, all right, here's another for instance. If I know no matter what, I'm going to be roof.com and I'm only servicing Houston, forever, then I will go metal, roof, installation, Houston, okay? And I will go flat right here, all right? But that's only if I'm only going to service that area forever. Then I can go /, so now we're doing metal, roof, installation, Houston. We could go / who to hire in Houston for metal roofs, right? I'm just for instance, I did not do any of the research. I'm just guessing who, what, when, why, where, how, right? It's going to be supporting the main topic, okay? Only way I would ever keep it flat like this, okay, in these turbulent times in 2023 is if this is the only area. Now, oftentimes, most people want to do more than one area, right? So because I want to be able to build out multiple relevant pages in order to build depth of concept, and plus, like, I still want to make it deliverable. I still want the client to be in the best possible position, right? And I still want to produce a lot of content. I still want a lot of content that's hyper relevant. I'm not saying that I don't. But when I'm building out content, I want it to be about product, area, and then support. Okay? So, Raphael, are you with me on this? I hope that you are, my friend. Okay? So, we're doing metal. All right? Now, let's say that we're in Texas, because that's where we are. Now, you can go Texas, you can go TX, you can do whatever you want. It's your site, right? But for me, I'm just going TX, because Google knows what's up. All right, so we're doing metal roofs in Texas. So this is where business owners that I talk to get hung up. What do I put on this page, Chris? What do I put on the metal roof page? Well, on the metal page, on the metal roof installation page, I'm going to, usually I'm doing it in the sidebar or a secondary footer. I'm going to internally link in a secondary footer. So this is a footer that's actually in the body. Okay, but it looks like it's still in the footer, but it's not. It's actually in the body. Or I do it in the sidebar. I really like the sidebar. Okay, it doesn't matter to me. Okay, because they're both in the actual body content. All right, now I'm making contextual links in the body content. Why? Because we know that it's the strongest place to put stuff. It is hot in here, just so you know. Metal, on the metal page, my internal links are going to flow to any of the states that I'm linking to, and of course I'll link back to here. But most notably, I'm linking to my state pages on the metal page. This page is all about metal roof installation, the big primary, even it could be considered a national term. On this Texas page, I'm linking to all of the metal roof pages that I'm offering. If I'm going to Houston, on the Texas page, I'm going to list Houston, Austin, all of the locations that I service, that I do metal roofs in Texas. Any city that I'm going to link to from here, I'm going to put inside the sidebar or a secondary footer. Okay? So now I'm doing metal roofs in Texas and Houston, Texas. Right? It's completely up to you. Now, this depth right here can go very, very deep. Very deep. Like, I could talk about Houston, this could be Austin, this could be whatever. This section here, which is the second level, I could go, this could be any state, Florida, Texas, California, wherever you want. Okay? Are you with me here on structure? Raphael, is there anything else I need to clarify? Thank you. Good. Residential, commercial, repair. Okay, let's be hyper relevant for Raphael. All right, because you give me the time, I'll make time for you, my friend. All right, so it's going to be residential and commercial and then we do repair. If that's where we want to focus, then that's where you need to focus. And two, I run into this a lot with clients. Just because you see a top performer now doing bad SEO does not mean that you should too. For instance, I get pest control guys all the time. I like helping them. Why? Because they're usually easy to deal with, right? It's not my primary focus, but I get a lot of them and they're fun to help, right? But every pest control company that I see, we're not talking about working or anything, right? But what I'm saying is, when we go look at the competitors, they have a whole list. It'll be their website.com/ants, /spiders, /bats. And I'm always like, dude, what do you think the chances of you ranking this is? Like, why are we doing this? Why? Right? Just because you see someone else doing something wrong and they're being rewarded, yeah, you see them ranking for the big primary that you want. But when you look at their website, the only traffic I bet you they're getting is for their homepage and that keyword. I guarantee that they're not killing it. They're not crushing across the board. There's no way, right? Keep the structure clean. Anyway, we do 3 services, Raphael. Sorry, I digress again. We're doing, okay. So Raphael says, it's very clear how to build the niche and topic relevance. My confusion comes when we add geolocation pages. What is your definition of a geolocation page, Raphael? Tell me what you mean by this, and then I want to help you. Tell me, please, sir. You do commercial, you do residential, and you do repair. Please tell me, and anyone else that needs help with any little thing, tell me now, right? The direction of this video went different, and that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. As long as I help you, that's what I like to do. It's cool. But tell me, what do you mean by this? What's your definition of a geo/location page? Is it a location page? Like what's up, Chris? Making this easy to understand. Keep it up, Chris. Thank you, sir. That's the objective, right? I see all kinds of stuff. Like, dude, don't let people spin you. Don't let people spin you with jargon. People spin stuff. It's always sounds really good to people that don't know. But everybody that I know that knows what's going on, they're like, dude, this is not a new concept. Okay? Dude, this has been around since I started. And I don't even want to admit how old I am. But like, dude, I remember like my dad had a gym in Lehigh Acres, Florida. It was called Private Muscle Studio. Dude, and he was building out websites. Like, dude, he was siloing the stuff down. Like it's like a very old school, very, very old school, very, very old school, right? And then they tried making spins, right? And Raphael, answer that for me and I'll get it out for you. But then people started saying, focus on topics. This is the other jargon, head spin, techno babble for, okay, I have a website.com. My topic is truck accident lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Focus on this topic. Okay, sure. I definitely can. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't, it's topics, it's silos. Another new fun one. Topic clusters. Always follow the dollar too. Always see what is this babble coming out of someone's lips. Is this attached to a product or their terminology or to their software? Like, they always put new spins on stuff when there's something for sale. You know what I'm saying? So don't. Because it doesn't matter. And then you hear all this chatter. But go to Google. Who's winning? Who's out there winning? What does their site structure look like? I bet you it's simple and clean. I guarantee it. It might even just be flat. I bet you a truck full of bananas. But now I think Raphael went ahead and mentioned something here. So it's very clear. So Raphael stumped. So Raphael, sorry, I snapped back into the chat here. Raphael owns a roofing company. So he's asking me, he's like, hey, it's clear on how to build out the niche and the topic relevance. My confusion comes when we're talking about geo/or location pages, right? Then he goes on to say that, hey, here's what I do, Chris. I do residential, I do commercial, and I do repair. Fair enough, simple enough, right? Geolocation page to me, and I asked him, I said, well, what's that mean to you? Because often there's a confusion because of the lack of understanding of, it could just be a meaning or a topic or an idea, right? And then it's necessary to put the state in the URL, or is it just serving 2 counties? Geolocation pages to me means city and state. Exactly. That's what it means to me. Okay, but now that we're on the same page, great. So the confusion comes to me when we're talking about cities and states. This is where he's having trouble. So Raphael, my friend Raphael has a roofing company. He owns roof.com. Okay. Now, roof.com, he only does 3 things. Roof.com. He only cares about 3 things. What's he care about? Well, my guy only cares about residential roofing. Now, if there's better volume, higher CPC, higher conversion, something that's better and you know it's better, then that's the keyword that you go with. This is just an example in order to explain the concept for you. Okay, Raphael? Like if you know, like, hey, just because I wrote residential roofing, sometimes I talk to people and they'll be like, oh, I saw this example that you did. This is just an example. All right, my friend? All right. Residential roofing. Okay. We do commercial. And yes, I want the keyword in there. I do not care how long the URL is. It does not matter how long the URL is. Okay. Yes, it matters how many subcategories there are. Yeah. But it doesn't matter how long the URL is, how many characters, okay? Just so we're on the same page. And, like, you might hear all kinds of stuff. Well, go out there. If you're trying to rank for a long tail keyword and you write, how long does it take to mow the grass? Let me ask you a question. Who's going to rank higher? The guy that has the URL, the title, and the H1 that's going for how long does it take to mow the grass? 9 words. Or the guy that's like, mow grass. Who's going to rank higher for how long does it take to mow grass? Everything else is the same optimization. They have the same exact website. But who is more likely? The guy that wrote the whole thing out in the URL, the title, and the H1, or the guy that went short? Who's going to win? Right? Anyway, he has more confusion. Residential, commercial roofing. Okay? And then the last one, what were you doing, bro? Oh, you're doing roofing repair. Awesome. This is the one that I usually repair. If I've worked with somebody, I've worked with solar companies. The roofing companies, see, the reason why I generally don't take those, the reason why I personally generally don't work with roofing companies is because when I get with them, I usually only have the question, are you licensed? Right? Wherever you're at. Do you have more than one truck on the road? And do you have a verified, vetted GBP that's not at your house and it's been there for longer than a year? And usually it's no, they don't. So I'd like, well, you know, it's not my cup of tea. But hey, that could be different for you, Raphael. Roof, residential roofing, commercial roofing, and roofing repair, right? Now, the confusion comes in cities and states. Well, let's say, for instance, that we're doing more than one state. This is who we are. Here's what we do. Here's where we do it. Well, we do it in Texas. We do this in Texas. But let's just say, for instance, that we also do work in Florida. And let's say that we do work in California. Okay? Now, that's probably highly unlikely, but for instance, you do. Here's what we do. State's going to come before the city. Okay? If that's where the confusion was, the state's going to come before the city. Now, where sometimes maybe there could be confusion, I've just gone through this with a law client, is, but when you see pages that are ranking, what they'll do is they'll have say Texas, they'll have residential roofing Texas, right? Or sometimes you might even see it the other way. But it's going to go this way. Primary keyword, and then state, and then city. Okay? All right, now, another piece where people get hung up is, well, what about the information? Just because we are doing roofing repair in California and then we have the city, does not mean that I have to build my supporting content all the way at the end here. I don't. I can build supporting content every single step of the way. But there's no reason, because something is semantically related, do I think that I need to have a page that looks like this? Nail and nails. The difference between nail and nails. Like, this is the kind of crap that I see when we're talking about semantically correct. Like everything is semantically connected at some point. Like, at some point, everything's related. Like, if you keep going, like, I can make anything about something else, no matter what, at some point. You get what I'm saying? But, like, geez Louise, like, how much content do I have to produce to, like, really get far out there? Like, why would a marketing agency want to rank for cloth? Like, what? Why? For what? Because it has a 13K volume? What? What? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna choke. It's just mind-blowing to me. Did I clear that up? Are we all clear, Raphael? Sorry. All right. This is what I love about Chris, making things easy. Yep, that's the objective. Geolocation pages. Hey, Chris, is it necessary to put the state in the URL if you are just serving 2 counties? I think that if you only care about 2 counties, what I would do is, instead of targeting those counties, I would target the cities or the towns that are in those counties. A county could be made up of a lot of stuff, and if there's enough people in that county, I want to go after those towns. Like, that's what I would do. Like, because you're going to start, what is that? You're going to run out of runway. Like, we need to build depth of idea. We need to showcase our expertise to Google. How do we do that? By force feeding information to them. You see? So I personally would not go after the counties. Now, I've seen guys and gals and companies have success doing that, where they'll even have secondary pages. Like, we're going to build out the counties too. But I've also seen where that was a major fail. Where I have had the most success is doing this. Here's our primary key term. We're going to go after these states and we're going to go after these cities, right? I personally, generally, we don't go after towns. Not a chance. And then even like subset towns or subset like little municipalities or something, like, I forget what they call it off the top of my head. Like, I've seen guys doing these strategies. Like, no. Because I still have to allocate dollars. I have to produce content and push links to those pages. If I don't get links and have decent enough content on those pages and a unique image, and it's not unique, like, you'll be running that API every day. Dude, you'll have so many pages dropping out of the index, it'll blow your mind. You start cranking out 1,000 pages a day, and I'm trying to hit every single city, every single town, every municipality, and then I start doing sub-towns and little subsections. Dude, your stuff will never stay indexed. There's not enough room. There's not enough room for the boys. You know what I'm saying? All right. I think we're clear here. I don't see anything else from my friend. Chris, is it necessary to have the state in the URL if you're just serving 2 counties? Again, no. If you're only serving 2 counties, I would start breaking it down. That I would make sure that I have I would do the towns instead of the counties. I would do the it's your website.com. I would still do service here, and then I would start breaking down the towns. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Now, if you only offer one service, and the only reason why I don't keep it all flat is because it gets so messy. Like, it's hard to keep stuff in order. That's the only reason I won't just run flat the whole way. Because the only thing different about keeping it flat is because when I'm working with companies and they only have like one service and they're only doing one state, I'll run the site flat. 1,000%. I'll do, again, if it's a small company, one area, one service, I'll run flat. Let's say they only do one state and they only have one service. I'll run flat. Like, I'll do website.com, right? And I'll do / let's say they're roofing. I'll do roofing Miami. Roofing, even a roofing company, roofing whatever. Roofing Fort Myers. Roofing Cape Coral. Roofing Naples, Florida, right? I'll do it just like this. The only thing that's different when we're running flat like this is I still need to have a top level page. And generally, usually, what I'll do is I'll run it right off of here. I'll optimize this around brand plus primary keyword. And then on this page, I'll usually put a piece in the middle of the page. Let's say this is the footer. I don't know if you could see that. But here, I'll list out all the cities like this. These are all anchor texts on the page. This way I can internally link. Because if I'm hitting every city in a particular state, it's so messy in like the header and then the footer. So I'll put it in the body content. I'll make the text small. I usually make around 16 or 14. And I'll put it right in the middle. Sometimes, like, if the client's like picky, I'll get a bunch of pictures and I'll stack them up, you know, like I'll make it'll look good, you know, but really I'm just trying to get that internal link flow to those pages. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, cool. Thanks. Good. All right. My content is mainly for people in the US, not necessarily for Zim. Hey Booker, I'm interested. Do you target other countries with relatives in Zim? My confusion about topic has been answered. Oh, my confusion about topic has been answered. All right, so you're good on that. Good. So I've been able to help tonight. Raphael. We also taught Kazu. So yeah, that topic thing, dude, that drives me crazy. Your topic is your keyword. They're like, oh, it's not about keywords. Really? Really? Are you sure? Because, like, how would Google understand? Now, I'm not saying that I can't create a page and have the primary keyword. Here, do this as an exercise. Put some baloney in your title and in your URL. Put some random keyword and then go into that page and optimize the living, like, the best. You can even hammer it with links. And I can almost, you might get lucky, right? But I can almost guarantee you that the probability of that ranking in the top 3 for that keyword is very unlikely. You know, you could, for instance, let's keep with our little example here with roofing, right? So we're a roofing company. We do roofing repair. What's the topic? The topic could be either repairs or roof. If you just go write roof, like, good luck ranking for roofing repair. Like, you don't write that anywhere. If it's not about keywords, like, come on. Like, this is baloney. This is a giant baloney sandwich. Like, it's obscene. It's obscene, the stuff I hear. We all know who you're dissing. Not just anybody, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a humble man. I'm a mellow guy. But yeah, actually, I had a Ron, it's good to see you too, by the way. I had a client, a good client, and they're like, Chris, have you seen this? And I'm like, well, what is it? What? And they're like, should we be doing this? And I'm like looking, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, whoa. I'm like, nah, like, how is that going to help us? You know, like, we're going this way. No, in fact, I have a big project, right? A pretty big project I've been working on for 7 months, right? And we tried it. Like, we tried launching, like, let's say we have a really big project, reallyBigProject.com, okay? And we have our primary keyword. Now, we literally went in and we said, okay, let's make supporting content at this level. We did it in one state silo. All right, this is a national website. Once we had a winning formula, we launched the formula in every state, where the head page or the head location is in each state. Okay, but in any case, that doesn't matter. What matters though is, like, we started launching informational based content at each level. And when I'm talking about informational content, like, we took that a strategy where we hit everything semantic just to test it, just to see. And we got a boatload of traffic, but the amount of leads that actually came in the door was like, yeah, there's a huge spike in traffic, huge. But the actual amount of dollars that was generated, like the amount of leads that we sold, it barely even moved for the amount of work that we had to do in order to produce all that content. It's not worth it. I assure you, it's not. You will get a lot of traffic, but it's just not worth it. All right, is there any other questions here? I hope that I've made sense here. Now let's talk about a whole nother topic. All right. Let's start talking about building out topical relevance in another industry. All right. We talked about roofing. We talked about law firms. Okay. I got to be mindful what I say about law firms, because I don't want the competition to catch up. But but here's what I do want. This market's already massively saturated, so it's fine. I guess they both are, so I guess it doesn't matter. It never matters. So let's say that this is house.com. Okay. Now let's say that we want to do we buy houses. Okay. House.com, we buy houses. All right. Now, what I want to share with you here is how we can build depth of concept at each stage of the silo. Okay. You could look at these as folders. You could look at these as topics, or my personal favorite is the primary keyword is we buy houses. Okay. The topic is we buy houses. The head topic cluster is we buy houses. Okay. All right. Now, so here's we buy houses. Okay. Now, if I want to build more depth here, what would we start talking about? Okay. If it's we buy houses, we can talk about offers. All right. We can start talking about the process. Okay. We buy houses, we could talk about different offers, and then we could start talking about our offers here, right? So this could be offers in New York. This could be offers in, well, it doesn't matter. The process of buying homes. Okay, we're building depth of content of topic on we buy houses. We could talk about help. Okay, and you can append or attach any other variation if there's a better keyword to where there's a head term or a main top, like if there's a cluster to be had and there's a better keyword than the main, then go for that. This is just an example again. Okay. So we buy houses, we can do our offers, processes, help. Okay. Oh, this is a really good one. How about dirty? Right? Dirty houses. big one. Ugly houses, that's a brand, right? We buy ugly houses. That's like torture. All right, now we can go here. So we buy houses. So this is just here. Technically, it would be here. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. Now, let's say that we want to start talking about, let's say that we're doing it in New York. Okay, now we have a whole nother subsection here. Okay, top level, it's we buy houses in New York. So we could start talking about offers. So I hope this makes sense to you. This could be offers in New York. This could be the process of selling in New York. This could be help selling a home in New York. Okay? Help in New York. This could be dirty houses. This could be I don't know, cost of buying in New York, right? Like, dude, again, we're doing it in New York. I'm doing it this way. It's really running this way if we're looking at a URL. We're on the same page. Good. Okay. It's hot in here. Anybody else, feel free to do a pest control one. Okay, pest control. All right. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to say that it's near and dear. I'm from Florida, right? And maybe, perhaps, one of the first that ever I've exchanged service for dollars for might have been a pest control company. I don't know. Right? So this is near and dear to my heart. And what I do know about pest control isn't a lot. But I do know some things. I'm from Florida, right? I hate bugs, you know? But here's what I know. The money is generally, so some companies might have specialties. Maybe it's termites, maybe it's ants. But a lot of times what it's going to be is it's going to be pest control plus city, right? This is the big keyword. Next, it's going to be inspection, right? Am I on the right page? And then there's emergency. This is where the dollars are at, right? It's pest control plus city or location, inspection plus location, right? Pest control inspection, or it could just be pest control / inspection, right? And then there's emergency, right? Would you say for your business that that's probably some of the better phrases? But then there might be certain times of the year, right? Or there's certain hot times meaning like the dollars are flowing quite consistently. And it could be ants, right? Depending on where you live or where you're at, it could be ants. It could be bats. It could be who knows. Now, there's another variant though, okay? Other than pest control, another really good keyword that we like, other than inspection and emergency, is exterminator. Now, the problem with this one is that there's two huge companies that target this specific keyword. The CPC is through the roof, and then on top of that, they own the board. And if they don't, they have subcontractors that just gobble up all those words. So generally, I steer clear of that one. Right? Why? Why do I want to compete? I don't want to compete. I want to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to compete. You know? It's not generally, I can't compete dollar for dollar, so I got to outthink them. So in any case, we have our emergency. Now let's start talking about this. Now that we've established what our primary services are, let's just say that we're doing business in Florida, right? I'm from Florida. I live in PA now, maybe. I don't know, but yes. All right. So we have pest.com. Okay, and it's always the same no matter what. It's pest.com. Now, what do? Well, we do inspections. All right, but we do pest.com. And let's say it's pest control service. And then if it's going to be more than one state or multiple locations, just to keep things easy, let's say we're going to do a state. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to hit every city that there is. Okay, so pest control service in Florida, here's the cities that we do it in. All right, now let's say that for some reason there's a particular thing that you do the best. Maybe it's bed bugs, maybe it's ants, maybe it's bats, maybe it's, I don't know. That's up to you to decide. But it's always going to be primary service, state, city. Now, let's say, hey, Chris, I'm only doing one state. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You could literally, you could put any words you want. It could be law. It could be real estate. It could be pest control. It could be chiropractor. It could be dentist. Dentists have a lot of services. That's a tough one. They're tough. I have a lot of fun with dentists. I've done 2 super successful where they had a boatload of services. Lots of stuff going on there. I like that niche. That's a fun niche, actually. I enjoy that a lot. I should target that. I really like doing dentists. Not as much as I don't know, it's a hard one. That's a hard choice. Where were we? Oh, we were talking about a certain type of, let's say you only have one location. So we're still doing pest.com. Okay. Now, if we want to do ant extermination, yeah, I didn't spell it out. I just kind of ant extermination, and then we can start talking about our locations. Now, what if you're like, Chris, I don't want anything to do with these multiple sections. I want to try to keep it flat. Cool. I'm with you. You'll probably rank faster, right? But you have to keep track of everything, and it can be a lot of work. Okay? I did tons of sites this way, and I'm with you. It's cool. It's all good. I understand that. Pest.com. And if we want to do pest control service, and we want to keep everything flat, and we're only doing one state, that's fine. Pretend this is your page. On this page here, inside, usually here or in a secondary footer, we have our footer here. In our secondary footer, we need to link to all of the pages. And when I click on this right here, my pest control Naples, pest control Fort Myers, pest control Punta Gorda, pest control whatever, it's going to take me to this page right here. I click, and when I go to it, it's going to say this. Pest control service, Cape Coral. Boom. That's it. I have a top level page where I'm targeting pest control service, which can encompass tons of keywords. But when I click on that URL, it takes me to a flat structure. You can do it this way, and they rank very well, but it's very hard to keep everything together. And anytime you need to make a change, you have to go back in the chain and clean all that up, right? And if you cross-linked anything, you made informational content, you made any supporting content, you have any navigational anything, you have to go back manually and check that. It's so much easier. It's just easier to make your menus, especially if you're using WordPress. Half of everybody is already using WordPress. 50% of people are on WordPress, you know? And then if you're not on WordPress, what are you using? Squarespace? It's the same thing over there, right? They only have that regular H1s. And then if it's not that, most people I talk to, they might be on Duda. They're on, a lot of people use Squarespace. You'd be surprised. All right. I'm very, very hot. I covered the main topic. I wanted to help whoever I could. That's going to wrap it up for today. I've been here an hour. I had fun. Griffin, you have a question? Hey, Chris, can we do back pain? Booker, I would love to, but feel free to do pest control. We spent the last week or two editing our silo of my pest control website to the exact structure you suggest. But we have virtually no backlinks outside of pure chance. need to do a consult with you on the backlink services, because we literally do everything else, even this now. By the way, what should I do with all the posts that do fall under X city but can't be out into the silo? Copy and paste under our pages with that silo and delete the post. Example, how do we get rid of the ants in Dallas? All right, well, the very first thing, so you've changed the structure. So you have an ants in Dallas page. Like, how would you go about getting rid of that? Well, is there any traffic, and or is there any links? You just said there's no links. And the structure was jacked up, so the probability of there being traffic is very, very low. Right, Griffin? Generally, this is the case. Now, I don't want to say that because of the structure and how things were laid out, I'm assuming the content isn't up to par. Right? Would I be good to assume this? Right? Because if we didn't get the foundation right, there's no way we got the other puzzle pieces right. Right? If the most important thing was messed up, there's no way the rest is on target. Exactly. So what I would do in that case is, first and foremost, we want to get rid of those pages, and then you want to look up how to do a 410. Okay? So we want to make sure that we're doing a 410. Now, people, especially in the white hat community, people that are not white hat community, just people in general, right? I don't want to, I hate labels. People in generally are in the misconception that 404s are going to be a massive issue. Now, please note, just so we're on the same page, yes, I do recommend doing 410s. But when we have a page that has no links and no traffic, it is not in your best interest to do, because, oh, if I delete the page, I'll get a 404. Right? And then everybody and their brother will tell you to do a 301 redirect back to a new page that's relevant or back to the home page. I highly disagree with that. Massively. Because why? Because a 404 is a status code that's from the server. Right? And the only way that that status code would be initiated is if there was traffic coming to that page. Right? And once Google comes to that page 4 times, right, you'll see it. You can check the server logs. They'll come with their desktop bot. They'll come with their mobile. They'll come back again just to double check. Dude, if there ain't nothing there, if there is not anything there, they'll drop that page. Like that'll be gone. They won't come back again. It's over. It's over for it. All right. So I'm not in the camp of, okay, get rid of it and then 301 it. Nah. What I would highly recommend, though, like, you could just drop it. I wouldn't usually worry about it. I would just submit it to Google. But I do like to set up the 410s. Make your list. Go to your HTA access file and look up how to initiate a 410. If you're utilizing WordPress, there's probably even a plugin that takes care of this. If there's not, it's very easy to do. All right? Do a 410. All right? And that just means it's dead. It's gone. That page is gone. All right. But make sure that you also rerun your sitemap. All right, my friend? Yep. All right. Just delete it and force index in Google Search Console, right? Well, I would delete it and then do a 410. Do a 410 status code, I guess is what you would call it. All right. And then go run your map again. So that way you've updated your map, you've essentially called Googlebot back, and when they come back to rerun that sitemap, they'll also see that you've also included the 410s. You can even add those specific pages into the robots, all right? Because Google has a tendency to just do whatever they want. So if you usually do a double whammy, like, hey, robots is blocked, this is blocked, and you're 410, usually Google will listen. But I've seen, if you know index, they'll still show stuff. They'll still come. Like, they're funny, dude. They do whatever they want. And I would too, I guess, if I was Google. Right on. Probably book that backlink consult with you as well. Got it. Much appreciated. Surely. Yep. And two, I mean, we can chat about it, brother, but if you have test.com, Get this page optimized around the brand. And when you start building those links, build here and here. Okay? But we could chat about it. Man, I'm hungry. I think I'm gonna make myself a smoothie. I got some fruit today. We actually went camping, right? I drove home to let Hayes out, and I'm like, dude, I have so much work to do in the morning. I'm just gonna stay at the office. All right, got it. Chris, would you repoint from a location page to a service page? So you would have to create another service page just for that location. All right. Hey, Chris, if you guys have, if guys, gals, company, business owners, whoever's here that's with us today, if you have any other questions, feel free to go ahead and ask. I'm about to jump off. If there's anything that I can help you with, there's 0 dumb questions. I've had every dumb question there is, trust me. And if there was a mistake, I've definitely made it. There's no question. So just feel free to ask. All right. So let me read let me comprehend this. Hey, Chris, would you repoint from a location page to a service page? So you would have to create another service page just for the location, just for that location. Would you repoint from a location page to a service page? So you would have to create another service page just for that location. It's a service-based location page. Maybe I'm not completely understanding the question. I'm sorry. I even read it 3 times. I'm not sure what you mean by that exactly. Would you repoint from a location page to a service? So you would not. So you would not repoint from a location page to a service page. Have to create a service page just for that location. Would I repoint? The only way that I would point back, wait, what is this? What is this? I've never seen this before. Every page that's in the silo underneath the service. This is a good question, actually. I'm glad you asked me that. Okay. Here. I get this a lot. I have two separate law firms I'm working with. And this is often a very common question, actually. So if I have, let's say it's law.com. Okay. And let's just say we're doing car accidents. Okay. Car. Law.com, we're doing car. Anything that comes after this, whether this is the state and then we're doing city. Okay. It doesn't matter if now I'm doing Texas and then a city. Every page that's after car in the car silo is going to point to the car page. Everything that's in the state section points to the city. Now, Florida car accident lawyer never points to the Texas car accident lawyer. Okay? I think that's where we're going, right? Everything goes up to car because everything's hyper relevant to car. But when we start talking about locations, then we can only link to other locations that are hyper relevant to each other. I think that's what you're asking. And that's how I would do it. And the only reason I know this is because I would link it all. And then you'd get that initial boost, right? Say you did 2 states and everything's linked. Doing good, right? We're cooking. But now we added 20 more states on, right? What happens? Dude, we're starting to tank, right? So I went back to the drawing board and I started being hyper specific with my anchor text and my internal linking. And what happened? where I went back and cleaned everything up, that state and those cities started taking off. And I was like, internal anchor text matters. Big time. Okay? So, yeah, that's that. It seems like such a simple thing. But it's a balancing act. Because we know, because isn't car accident lawyer Florida still relevant to car accident lawyer California? There's still car accident lawyers. But when you add that geomodifier here, it completely changes the SERP. It changes the SERP. Right? There's different types of SERPs. If I'm changing a SERP, then that's how I need to internally link. I need to make sure Google can understand what I'm presenting. And I need to make sure that it's in a order that makes sense to Google, right? It's a mind-blowing, it's one of my favorite things in the entire world, right? It's a balancing act between being able to get and make it make sense to the user when they land, and I need to make sure that Google can crawl and see and understand. And how do you do that? You do that with internal anchor text, also external votes, and then the flow of internal and external links. Very, very key. All right, I think we answered that. I think we're golden here. I love you guys. All right. I could talk about this stuff all day. I need to eat. If I still feel really good, I'll come back on. But I have an appointment tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I'm meeting with a law firm in Louisiana. I'm not meeting with them physically, but I need to meet. I'm meeting with the big boss man. Met with the son-in-law. Now it's time to meet the big Dundada. And now we can get on the real site. So it should be good. But he's a older gentleman. He wants to get up super early. Not my favorite thing to do, but it's all good. If it was still later, I'd probably just stay awake, but I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night. If you have any questions, ask below. I answer all the questions. Sometimes it takes me a day or two. I'll answer it. But I love you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for your time. Many blessings. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great night. Oh, wait a minute. We had trivia. Can you guys tell me, and gals, business owners, I have to work on this. Could you, I don't want to say people, right? Because then it's impersonable, right? I don't want to say guys, because then it's like, well, I don't want to be like weird, business owners. Hey, business owner. Let me ask you a question here. Can you tell me what this site's about? And I sorted, as you can see, I sorted from traffic percentage. Can you tell me what this site is about? I put it up on the screen. Wait, can you see that? Or can I only see that? Go ahead, I'll wait. Thanks, Greg. Good to see you, Greg. Come on, anybody, give me some good guesses. And not you, John. I love you, man. Yep, see you, Jonathan, American Plumbing, Jesus Leadership, Griffin, Raphael, everybody, American Plumbing, Chris. Just log in is answer the public a good method for topical authority. If you're going to collaborate that with common sense and volume, any type of volume, and is it an actual thing that will lead or assist to a sale, then yes, it could be considered a very good tool. Definitely. But don't, everything at some point could semantically be related, right? If you keep following the line, right? That's like, hey, that's kind of like, you know how they talk about, hey, if you go 6 steps, like we're all related, or like we all know somebody, like we're like everybody's a phone call away, like we all know each other in some way, right? You ever see that? I think it was in that movie, and I looked it up too. It's true, right? I think it was in that Edward Snowden, right? Like, no matter what, you're connected. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, I gotta get this off the screen. No, Ron. No, no names. No names. Oh my gosh. Oh, I think I might have an idea. What things to check while buying PBN backlinks? A shopping center. Yes. What things to check when buying PBN links? So everybody, all right. This is now this is another topic. See, I love. There's two things that I love. I love on-page SEO, right? One of my favorite things to do. I love spending a lot of time figuring out, well, what's the math, right? I love it. I enjoy it immensely. The second thing that I really enjoy is backlinks, right? Because I've had success with both. So that's where I focus my attention. On page and backlinks. That's what I care about the most. These two things, right? Wait, that's everything, Chris. That is SEO. Oh, wait, I love SEO. What can I say? Let me answer your question, Swag. What things to check when buying PBN backlinks? So I think we all know what we're looking for, right? Topic or category of link is number one. Okay. Now, you could buy any link and it's either going to be neutral or a plus. All right. Now, I'm not saying, I've bought all kinds of links. And I'm not saying that you couldn't buy. I could go and buy a list off. You know how you get those emails and they're like, hey, I got these links for 75 cents a piece or $5 a piece. And then, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? You get those lists from some random guy on, like, Facebook, and he'll say hi. And then you're like, I don't know you, but maybe you know me, and, like, maybe I know you from somewhere. And you say hi back. And they're like, oh, do you want to buy backlinks? And you're like, no, I don't. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not saying that you couldn't get a benefit from that. You could, right? I wouldn't go to the homepage or a primary page, but maybe a couple levels out. But anyway, topic and category. Number 2, referring domains. 3, position of link. Where's it at on the website? Number 4, price. So I'm really care the most about the topic, the referring domains, and where is that link on the site, and like how is the interlinks. All right, and then it's all brought together by this right here. I think that these are your top 3 that are most important. Like, is the category on point? Is there a boatload of referring domains? And then where are you going to put that link? Is that a homepage link? Is that a second tier link? Is this heavily internally linked? Does this link go on the homepage and then push to an internal page? This is usually what they do, right? Usually what PBN providers will do. I don't know what they do. I don't know. This let's advanced PBNs is another day, another topic. But one day we can talk about that. But it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Multiple blessings to you and your family. I wish nothing but success to you. I hope that this has helped you. And if it has, let me know below. If you have a question, let me know below. If you need more than just a, hey, answer a question, reach out to me. Don't email me, please. But send me a text message. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. I love you guys. Have a great night. Suffix power? What's suffix power? Oh, that's the topic. Oh my gosh. Dude, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. This is awesome. I just I just can't take it. I mean, that is, I it's mind blowing. Let's take a look at this. The only reason I even bring this up is because I literally had a very good client, a good client. I had a good client. I felt like questioning me, and I was like, I don't. And this was I was like, what? And I went to this, and this is what I pulled out. And I was like, dude, I I didn't say dude. I was just baffled. I couldn't believe it. But we had a chat, and I feel good now. And hopefully I answered their questions, and I answered yours, and it's been a blessing. Thank you so much. But we had some guesses here. A shopping center. We also had a clothing store. Right? So clothing store, suffix. So like almost like teaching an English dictionary, right? Again, this is kind of like that spin, you know. What's the word? Let me see what it's called. What's the word? See, I'm not into the dictionary thing, right? But what's the word? Like, what's that word I'm looking for? I can't meander, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to meandering, you know, like when you say something, you know, it's like, oh, like I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but I don't know. Don't let people spin you. All right. If there's anything I can help you with, I'll be more than happy to. Many blessings. Have a good night. Bye bye. I don't want to say anything I'll regret later. See you later, Ron. Bye bye. See you guys. Bye.